Hello everybody, my name is Savni and welcome to my channel. I'm an avid book lover and there are many unputdownable books out there. But being a law student, I wanted to specifically dive into the genre of legal fiction or legal thriller. And most people, including me, associated legal fiction only with John Grisham. Though he might be one of the best out there, here are some relatively lesser explored gems which I thoroughly enjoyed and I hope you do too. So let's get started. So the first recommendation for this video is gonna be Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. This story, this book is just, it shatters you by the end of it. It's a fantastic and utterly thrilling courtroom drama. It's a murder mystery, but more than that, it has a very powerful character study that examines immigration, grief, parenthood, caregiving, and many other such emotions. So basically the story is set in a small town in Virginia where a group of people, they know each other because they're part of this special treatment center, which is a hyperbaric chamber which supposedly treats various range of ailments like autism, male infertility, cerebral palsy, etc. So one fine day there is an explosion at the center and it's very clear that it is not an accident, and this is how the story starts. In the story basically there's this character called Elizabeth who is on the trial for murder and she is the mother of one of the victims. I definitely wouldn't deny that the story and the the whole plot is very, very complicated, and the entire emotional turmoil which is being presented in the book is very, it's very heavy on the heart, but it's literally like somebody is throwing stones at you, and there are you feel that there's this huge line of dominoes, and even if you miss like one piece of the story, and that's it, you won't be able to link and connect to the book anymore. But having said that, Angie Kim has managed to to structure and to frame this such an emotionally complicated, heavy plot into such a fluid narrative. Honestly, I won't be able to say much about this book and explain much about it. It's a very personal experience that you go through when you actually read this book. It's basically a story that explores family dynamics, marriage, relationships, and through a murder mystery which plays out in the courtroom drama, and it significantly raises the topic of how we judge the ones who are different and they do not fit into the norms of the society. The unfolding of the trial is absolutely brilliant. Angie Kim has just given us everything that we need in a book, in a murder mystery or in a legal thriller book, and I definitely recommend all of you to just once go and read this book and tell me how you like it. I definitely give it a hands down 5 on 5. It was such a good read. Okay, so the next two books that I'm going to talk about are my personal favorites, and I basically read them when I was in my college, like the pre-COVID time. And when I read these books in the college, I instantly fell in love. These books are written by this Indian author called Vish Damija, who is audaciously been crowned as the John Grisham of India, and I see why not. Coming to the first book by Vish Damija is this book called Unlawful Justice, and I'm in love with the book to start with. It's compelling, it's enthralling, it's enchanting. The story begins with this household maid's daughter getting raped and brutalized, and it is a household of two most reputed lawyers in India. One is a criminal lawyer, Vansh Diwan, and his wife, Preeti Diwan. Now, Vansh Diwan refuses to accept the case, though he is a criminal lawyer, because apparently the rapist or the culprit is the son of one of his biggest clients. And from here the dilemma starts, that whether he should be taking the case, whether he should leave the case. Preeti bringing in another lawyer to defend the case marks the start of the book. The book is fast-paced right from the start. The twists and turns are so good and engaging that you just can't stop reading the book. The writing style is simple, fluid, and easy to understand. The courtroom has been shown elaborately, precisely, and why not? Since Vish Damija himself was a law college dropout, he has that certain kind of respect for the legal working. The only problem with the courtroom drama is it starts very late. That is when 70% of the book is over. It's when the courtroom drama actually begins to happen. But once it starts, you are instantly engrossed in it. The book talks about the basic difference between crime and law. What is rightful justice for a crime, even though it is unlawful in the eyes of the law. Overall, it's a very, very good book, and it was so refreshing to read an Indian author write such a good legal thriller. 4 and 5 rating for me, 4 out of 5, and yeah. Let's get on to the next book. The next book I'm going to talk about is yet another Vish Damija's masterpiece, The Mogul. So the plot revolves around this one of the richest people in India, the business mogul Prem Bedi, who is basically accused and is taken in as a crime suspect for the murder of his ex-wife Riya and her new husband Mahesh Desai. Furthermore, even Riya's brother-in-law Manish, who is basically shown as the negative character, tries to slander Prem's image in front of the media to inherit his riches quickly. Soon enough, the book turns into a full-fledged courtroom drama, and it's all about how the evidence is played in the court. Even after watching series like Suits, How to Get Away with Murder, The O.J. Simpson case, this book did not disappoint me at all. The writing is yet again short, crisp, divided into neat, short, clean chapters, and it's written from a first-person narrative, which makes it all the more interesting and captivating. By the end of the book, you end up attaching yourself to each of the characters because the way they've been portrayed. By the end of the book, I actually started hating Manish, and I just felt like throwing the book whenever his chapter came. And likewise, there were so many other characters. You just felt like you were in their brain or something, and you knew why did they do what they did, and what are they going to do further. So I give full 10 on 10 to Vish Dhamija. The climax of the book was slightly disappointing for me personally, because from the start I started guessing who could have done the murder, and the person I pigeonholed right at the start of the book eventually turns out to be the murderer, and that is why this book turned out to be a little disappointing for me. But if you cannot guess the murderer, then I'm sure it'll be very interesting for you with all the twists and turns, with all the plots. Over and over and over, it's a very engaging and captivating book. As I said, you just get engrossed in the book. You want to keep reading it till the end, and yeah, I give it a 4.5 on 5 rating. I absolutely loved the book. The last book that I'm going to recommend is an all-time classic, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I'm sure everybody at some point in their life has definitely read this book, and maybe in their school, maybe forced to read in the school, or maybe later on, but I don't find any reason to not read this book at least once. So basically, the story is written from the perspective of a 6-year-old Alabama girl and is set around the Great Depression. To Kill a Mockingbird takes readers to the roots of human behavior, to love and hatred, kindness and cruelty, justice and injustice, humor and pathos, all of it. The culmination of all these emotions which a person goes through once in a lifetime is just portrayed so beautifully and lucidly in the book that it grabs your attention all the way. Though at the start of the book, the starting chapters were a little tedious and hard for me to get through, but then again, there were some chapters which I absolutely devoured, like the Robinson trial was one of my favorites. I loved it. The characters, the plot, the theme, everything in this book is just incredible. It's just to the point, crisp, neat, and yes, it's a classic for a reason. And definitely Atticus will remain one of my most loved and unforgettable characters. His character was just so wholesome and someone to look up to. The bonds in these characters have also been depicted so well. The bond between the sibling, the kids and their father, the neighborhood, the kinship relationships, the friendship, everything has been so well depicted. The courtroom scenes have been well presented. They are to an extent quite realistic, but somewhere I felt that they were like too real to be true, because at some instances you see that everybody is just nodding their heads and agreeing to whatever is right, and I don't think that actually happens in a real courtroom. It's definitely a must read for everyone, and everyone who wants to get into the genre of legal thriller. You should definitely start with this book. It's a big yes from me, and I definitely recommend this book, and I hope you all read it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope all the recommendations were of value to you. If you really like this video, then I would really appreciate if you like, subscribe, and if you have any more recommendations, comment in the comment box, and just keep showing some love. It'll just motivate me to make more videos for you. And yeah, so always remember, there's never too late to start anything new. So see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.